We got
That's
Ultra
true.
on today, so maybe we
Yeah,
should
yeah.
focus on their project. And
Maybe, yeah. The takeaway was that it's nice to see all this like wax space maturing a little bit. You know, like there's new tokenomic infrastructure emerging, and it's fun to participate in it.
I reckon a fair few of the teams will have learned from a
There's a
lot
happy
of
ending there. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Yeah,
we've
exactly.
been looking at the tokenomics, and you can always see which ones are the shit shows and which ones actually might have a little bit of non-Ponzi scheme-esque.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there some that are on your radar too that you're more interested
It's more
in?
that we've been making a lot of plans game-wise for like about 12 months or whatever, and we've learned a hell of a lot more from what's gone wrong of other projects, and that obviously the utility.
And it's made us terrified.
I don't know how many plans we've made and then said, "Nah, we're not doing that now."
In a way, it's good like that we haven't, because we could have jumped on a trend, and I think we would have paid for it, you know. So I'm glad that we've resisted all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's who knows? Who knows?
That's probably the better move than jumping into making a broken economy that you then have to try to fix for the next couple of years, like waiting to see what works and then copying that, which is sort of what like the big game designers are saying. Like Square Enix, they were like, yeah, we want to get into blockchain gaming, but like nobody fucking knows what's happening right now. It's wild. It's the Wild West. Stuff is way overvalued, way speculative. They're like, we're going to let stuff just like the dust settle a little bit and then figure out what's actually working and try to develop in that way. Which
the last thing I want to do is sit in a Telegram group and have people saying, "Why is the price dropping? Why is it inflationary? Why is it a clicker? Where's the update?" I'm not.
That's kind of the problem in a way. Is it like, to me, like nothing's worked? It like I can't see, or it's hard to see anything that you think is sort of like feels genuinely sustainable. Like
Alien Worlds, utility. Alien Worlds has got the economy better than most, but they need to bring something to it. They need an update.
Yeah, I've been into Alien Worlds like when we first got into Wax, and I feel like it's the same game as it was 10 months ago. Like exactly the same. I guess they added the Binance missions, but
which is like a feature and a flaw, honestly, because so many games have pivoted a million times over and changed a million times over that in some cases that consistency, even though there isn't a lot of progress, is nice.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah,
so
that's true. They stick to their original roadmap, which is something of a refreshing thing to see in the space.
What they also said from very early doors was we're not going to put any time limits on it. We're not going to announce a date, which that's one of the stupidest things you can do, because then you just get if you don't, like, nobody hits the deadlines anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, I feel like open source projects need to do that kind of approach, but I feel like gaming projects have a weird like space to try to take that same open source approach, because I get when like you can't release open source code unless it's done, because when it's, you know, once it's out there and it's governing and interacting with real value, and you can't roll that shit back, so you got to make sure it's fucking functional before it gets released. But when it's a game and you have like a centralized, like, you know, game authority like the Federation having the ability to roll back stuff, I do think it makes sense to keep the momentum by continuing to like release new things, which I feel like they're maybe not doing so well. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Like we just pointed out, like a lot of games do keep that momentum and then flop. So I think we mentioned this a couple of times when we were talking about these things. Conceptually, I think it has to do with the fact that like the implied value of what the game could be is worth more than the realized value of what the game is when it actually launches. So people like have this idea of like, oh, Alien Worlds could be all these things, and therefore we're going to value these NFTs highly. But if they actually do launch their Thunderdome, and the Thunderdome is just like a boring click farm game, you know, people will see what it is and be like, oh, I don't actually want to play this, and maybe not speculate quite as highly. So definitely, like, we keep seeing that over and over again with like game economies that like do really well in the hype phase, and then when the stuff is realized, it's like, no, I mean, they delivered what they were going to. It's just that people overhyped it. But
man, we're good at getting off topic. Back to Ultra.
Those leather faces these days. Have you guys?
I want to start at leather faces because that's the last time we had you on. So like, what are the updates from leather faces? Because there have been some pretty significant updates. Like at that point, the 666 Club was not on Wax. I heard maybe you guys might have migrated some of those NFTs. You might be able to get that on Wax as well now, right?
Well, that fixes in nicely to the next the next set as well anyway, because we were pretty pleased with that little bit of tech. I know, Max, you tried it out, didn't you? Where
I did. It worked fucking perfectly.
Yeah, everybody who has the 666 pass on Ethereum, click your wallet, click your Wax wallet on our website, and you get the equivalent Wax mint number that you have on Ethereum onto your Wax card, and those will be used for the whitelist for the guest collection on Sunday as well. So that's the first bit of utility for them, although there will be other things coming for it as well.
So, I mean, what we've been doing on with the 666 pass on Ethereum, we've been getting sort of like a lot of whitelist for the projects, and so it's been kind of like getting, for the people who use it, have got like really good value out of it. But obviously we realize that, like, you know, most of our community are Wax guys, so we wanted to offer that same utility. But obviously it's not such a thing on Wax, kind of getting whitelists for other people's projects and all that. But we did it on Goldman was the first one we did it with, which went quite well for the people who got involved. And obviously then it's our project, we're doing it next, and we've got a couple of others lined up. But we think it's quite an interesting utility for the holders, like just holding that pass will get you whitelist for things if you want to get involved, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Especially more exclusive whitelists, like the ones on Ethereum have been pretty like difficult whitelists to get on for the 666 card.
Well, Lav's brilliant and all that. He's got much more of a network and grinds in the Ethereum space than we do. So he's been knocking it out of the park. To be fair, he's got shed loads of some very good, very valuable white.
So I think the 666, and we've got plans for that, and it's sort of going to develop as it kind of takes on its own sort of life. We will be doing the companions next week, and we
don't commit to date.
Well, to be fair,
you heard it here.
It's all ready to go. Do you know what it is? We sort of like we test and we test and we test, and we don't want it to go wrong, and you know we want people to have the best experience. So it just takes time. We've optimized that contract 3 or 4 times now, so we completely changed the contract because we you know, like, it's obviously everything's evolving so quickly. Yeah, we like, oh, there's a better contract, we can use this, and we've kept adapting it and updating it.
Like the basis gas prices, obviously we hit a horrible time when but we could also, since then, other contracts have been more optimized, and we don't want people paying stupid money. So
so we've delayed it and to ensure that people are going to get the cheapest, they mint it for the cheapest price we can do it. So it's taken us a bit of time to kind of do that, which, you know, we ideally would have got it out quicker, but we're not going to rush things to sort of. We'd rather people have a good experience, but it take a bit longer. You know?
So the art, I've been watching the teasers all the time in the Discord of the art, and there's several of those that I'm really hoping I get one of.
Yeah, do you have any to pull up to share, John?
I really like,
as far as some of the companion artwork, if you want to show on stream here.
Yeah, sure. Rich, do you want to?
Yeah, there, John, do you?
Sharing
your screen because you're
this is why I'm always Richie, because like I'm always terrified I'll share something that I don't want anyone else to see.
At the end of the drive, I'll have a goosey. I've got the guest set art sat here, but I haven't got the.
I'll send you some stuff, Rich, and you can just share it.
I'd be super stoked to have the decapitated Vitalik. That was a good one. Or there's one with what is his name? Elon Musk, like holding Elon Musk's head. I love that one. Or Irish's Bored Ape. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, how's the governance working out? Are you getting a lot of activity as far as, you know, people wanting to vote and engage as far as the mint passes are concerned?
Early doors was a lot because we gave a lot of like input for the companions. Was one of the major things, like which projects you want to see on there, what's that? Because I think people would prefer a little bit more horror based than what we did Leatherfaces. So we've gone for less comedy, more vicious. I think a little bit with the companions, because to speak to the horror crowd. So that was some of the feedback we got back from them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
The horror crowd, I feel like, is definitely a good community for this type of like collectible thing. I think people, like, as far as what I can tell from like horror people, have a really high appetite for just like this type of stuff, and I love it. As like a horror fan, I watched the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and like I want to see more, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre to me isn't about Leatherface chainsawing people. It's about like the hillbilly family dynamic. That like that's what makes Leatherface scary. Is like he himself is like, you know, kind of a harmless, like non-vicious person, but he gets made vicious by the vicious like intention of his like hillbilly family who like, you know, uses him to kill people. Whereas like he on his own in this new movie, I was like, I don't know, like I feel like he would just like lose focus and like stop doing this shit.
So this one's really cool because that's like the
this one's great.
The new mask from the new film.
Yeah.
So obviously we couldn't
dope.
do that in the last set, but we'd seen it and we like it. So that's cool.
Yeah. It was very satisfying to see him just like slashing through the people on the bus. that scene was so ridiculous and just like over the top. Like, I don't know. I like that stuff because at the end of the day, I feel like horror movies in general are like, you know, you're asking the audience to play along because everyone knows it's a movie.
It doesn't take itself too
serious. It should be fun.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that it didn't take itself too serious was great. The only thing I was hoping for was more of that like hillbilly family dynamic.
He's got a crypto punk there.
So is it all great. Like other Avatar projects and then like crypto influencers or things like that, or
it's mostly sort of like other projects which we got the community sort of like voted on and also kind of sent us. So we got like actual, you know, like the NFTs that were owned by the community that we sort of executed.
I see. So it's not just other projects, it's specific mints within that project that are people that are already in your community. Oh, that's even cooler because then people could be like, hey, that's mine.
Yeah, like the Lazy Lion one is great too. I forget whose Lazy Lion that is.
Yeah, I see a sneak peek one with Gary V, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, Gary V. We chopped his head off.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's going to get us in trouble or not. Probably, who knows?
Oh man, these are dope.
So they're kind of like, you know, we've kept it proper horror. He's got like a board ape there.
Yeah, they're definitely very horror. I'm stoked for these. I've been looking forward to minting my companion for a while. Next week, huh? Tentatively.
Okay, so you have to pay the gas.
It should be next week.
It's free to anyone with 2 leather faces, correct? And then, but you have to pay the gas to mint.
Yeah, that's right. And that is like, it's because we've had to do it, like set the contract up so it kind of detects what's in your wallet, and you can only use the companion once. So it's got like the contract's got a bit of an additional code. That means it's slightly more expensive because
each companion, each Leatherface mint number can only be used once. So
that one. I see. So if it's used to mint the companion and then sold on the secondary market, then it's already been used, right? So you need to be aware of that.
And we'll have something on our website where you can search before you buy, say on OpenSea. You'll be able to search the mint number to see whether it's been used before or not.
Yeah, that's what I did that for my mint pass. I searched which one was used or not, and I bought a secondary market mint pass that still had its Leatherface. It was fucking dope.
I see, because you can mint an additional one with the mint pass.
The mint pass gives you the free minting for the Leatherface, and then they had the tool made where it was like you could easily check. It's like, oh, does this have true or false still, basically?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really fucking cool.
It should be next week. I mean,
you do such a good job of making it so seamless.
If it isn't next week, people should be giving us a lot of shit, to be honest, because it should it's
I'm ready.
Next week's a vague enough timeline. You didn't say a specific day. You covered your asshole.
It's all ready to go. We've just been it's just testing it and
lately. Oh, sorry, go on.
Sorry, I was just saying we were playing with it. We have tested it. It should be all. We're talking about with Dev this afternoon. It should be all ready to go. We're not going to do it on Monday or anything because obviously we're just doing the guest collection on.
Yeah, and we're getting the guest collection, and we didn't want that. Like, we wanted to give that its own bit of breathing space, and so.
Yeah, so the guest collection that's the next drop on Sunday on Wax. Yeah. And the only way to get it is with the Mint Pass, right? Like
the only way to whitelist, the only guarantee it is through the Mint Pass, but that's then the public sale's 5 minutes after the whitelist sale, and then it's a for all for everyone at that point.
So for the Mint Passes, so basically you have, if you're a Mint Pass holder, you have a Mint Pass on Wax to whitelist you for Wax projects, and a Mint Pass on Ethereum to whitelist you for Ethereum projects. So they run in parallel on their native chains.
Because we wanted to, like, the Goldman one, we did get whitelists for the Wax, but it was a to us, it's a pain in the ass getting people's Ethereum wallet linked up with a Wax wallet, and so that's where the idea came from. Everybody who's got an Ethereum wallet, we need a Wax equivalent. And what's the best way to do it? So that's why we built the bridge thing.
And what it means is as well, guys, if they're not interested in Wax, they can sell it, or like, do you know what I mean?
That's a really good point. Yeah,
it's not only that, but like I can move it into a hot wallet for a drop. So I'm whitelisted, and I can use my hot wallet to claim my drop, and then move it back into a cold wallet, which is nice. So
is it a proof of ownership, or are you doing a snapshot for the whitelist?
I'm trying to get that fully figured with Atomic, whether or not it can just be it's in your wallet. If you're going to buy one of them, don't do it with a few hours before, because if it's not, I'll do a snapshot as close to the drop as I can. But I need to confirm from Atomic how they'll be doing that, because we've been giving away a few extra whitelists as well, just in our group and things. So I don't know if they can use the template and us add extra new. I need to get it fully clarified. But yeah, so don't buy a whitelist like half an hour before the drop and then come complaining when you can't buy it.
Don't come crying to us.
Clip it.
You heard it here first.
I'm actually pretty impressed though by like a lot of brands say they're going cross-chain to like they're like, we're going to leave Wax to make our collection stronger on Wax. And so far, pretty much none of them have done it, except I've actually seen in your Discord people are like, I found you through Ethereum. I didn't know you had a Wax collection. I'm signing up for a wallet. I'm going to go buy your stuff on Wax. Like, I've seen that happen not once, but many times in your Discord. So like, I feel like you guys kind of actually successfully did what you set out to do, which I think is really impressive, just because like not many people have been able to do that successfully. I do think like having the horror property really helps, because you're finding the community of horror people and they're like, we just like horror stuff. No, you have horror stuff on another chain. Like, seems like it's a pretty easy onboarding process for you, which is like, it's cool. You guys are bringing people to Wax from Ethereum, which is like, that's hard to do.
Yeah. That was always our intent, whether, and like, you know, and I think the sort of, it's taken us time to sort of build the tool and stuff, but like, Wax is our home. It's where we started. Do you know what I mean? And we never wanted to abandon that. And our community's on Wax, and we would never want to leave them. So we said it all along, and I think people might have been, oh yeah, whatever. But I think
everyone says that. Right? You got to put
but I mean, genuinely, our plan was always we'd do this drop, and we're coming back, and we've done what we said.
Having Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we thought might reach a bigger crowd, especially on Ethereum, and then we hope to be able to bring back. We could attract people through the original IP, and then bring them back to see all our stuff as well. That was.
Well, we've seen that, and there's quite a few people. Yeah, like you say, they're just buying Wax stuff, and they're like, "God, this is funny." It's like, you know, it's completely different kind of experience. Don't pay any gas.
Yeah. Well, people cracking packs as well. Cracking packs is you don't get that over on Ethereum. So you're getting 25 cards for a fraction of the price of one.
Yeah, you kind of have like the RNG with the generative piece, or you're just kind of like minting, and then you kind of cross your fingers to see what you're gonna get, and like rarity tools, and that's kind of like the same kind of adrenaline rush compared to like pack ripping, but it still feels a little bit different because you don't have the artistic piece of designing the pack itself, the pack opening video, maybe music or whatever that comes in that.
Also just way more expensive. Like I can rip 10 packs of Wax for less than one profile picture on Ether. Like you could do more for less. So it's just the amount of fun you can have opening and playing your NFTs is more on Wax. So I think people see that from Ethereum. They're like, oh, like now I can go play with my stuff. Like I'll come over to Wax and like actively use it. So I do think people like Wax when they find it. It's just the hard part of educating people what Wax is when they're so used to Ethereum. It's like, that's kind of hard. So I think you guys made a pretty good system where it's like, okay, you're just get a bunch of free stuff dropped to you on this other chain. So it's like a no-brainer to sign up for a wallet. And then once they get the stuff dropped to them, they see how cool it is.
Also, going from having the Ethereum mint pass to getting it dropped to my wallet on Wax was probably the easiest like experience. As like I literally on the website, just like it was like sign in with your wallet. Very clearly in my wallet, it was like this transaction is only asking for your wallet's ID, and it's not exposing your keys to anything. Blah blah blah. Which is like I love seeing that like as a disclaimer by MetaMask and not by the site. So that's great. Signed that transaction, and then it was like, okay, what's your Wax wallet? Typed it in like. Couple minutes later, I had my NFT in my Wax wallet. Like,
really and the thing is as well, we sort of like we built it, and we were like, it was kind of like mint on demand, and we thought that's not good enough. Like our community, like there have been guys who bought spent extra money on that number 13, like
hell yeah,
number 13. Do you know what I mean? So it took us a bit longer to kind of make sure that like we could do that, but we felt that was worth it, you know, to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, taking that time really ended up in like an experience for the user. Like on my end, I was like, holy shit, this is so fluid, this is so smooth, and like the Wax official team doesn't even have their bridge cross-chain shit going yet. So like the fact that here's like Ultra Rare just did it in like, you know, in the most simple, like free, basically. I didn't pay any like gas or anything either to sign those transactions.
We quite like these kind of infrastructure things though, because we then we sat there having a chat, just well, that's worked really well. What else can we do with it? What other options? Bringing, like, we have a chat with our dev who's really enthusiastic and loves all this shit, and we just throw out ideas, and then just every one of them expands. So we could do this, we could do it here, we could do it cross chain, we could do all sorts.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
an opportunity.
That's great. Yeah, and that's so fucking like I said, like I haven't had that experience on any other like collectible, including, you know, some of the Wax official stuff that pitches cross-chain utility from the front end. And it's not like when I bought my Mint Pass on Ethereum, the pitch for moving it to Wax was even on the table. So like, not only, you know, did you introduce the idea, like you executed it like really smoothly before other projects run by, you know, like I said, like Wax official, who pitched the idea before you even pitched it, which is it's really fun. Like really,
yeah, it's just a little bonus thing. Like, do you know what I mean? And we like, yeah. But yeah, like would you say it gives us ideas of like, you know, what else can we do with it? How far can we push it? Like, you know, there's some exciting possibilities, I think.
Yeah, you guys planning to do more? I know you had like that screening for Leatherface holders, and you could watch the movie with the creator, right? Do you have more like events kind of thing lined up that play into something similar?
We
not really.
We did have things where we may have had access to other IPs and whatnot. We're not saying it's not going to happen, but to be honest, it obviously did with the sale. It didn't take off quite as we expected. We got quite a bit of blowback from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre community. Some of them it.
Really?
Everybody loves NFTs in the big wide world. I know we're surrounded by it, so it was quite hard work a little bit with some of them.
What we realised is it was a niche within a niche within a niche.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like specific in the horror in NFTs. Like,
that's quite the slim Venn diagram.
So you sort of like, we felt that people would lap up an IP, but our feeling is now that they're not necessarily, because I think maybe part of the appeal is sort of buying into something that might become something. Do you know what I mean? And it's that gamble. It's that.
Definitely that degen. Like,
So it's opened our eyes to things, but you know, I think we had to rethink.
A year ago, we were really all over the fact of like nailing an IP kind of thing. We was really. It was one of our goals as we grew Ultra Rare. The grass isn't always greener in some ways. Realistically, like we could get more. You get more freedom with what we're doing now.
A little more flexibility. Yeah.
And in fairness, they were great to work with, but it's still that like you're having to like creatively sort of answer questions from another party that we kind of weren't used to, and So
I mean, even given the way that went, like the reception of it went, the way you approached like not selling out, I think compared to again other projects running into like similar, you know, demand, like not meeting the expectation or something. Like you burned like majority of the supply, like left the sale open for people, and like I think still, given the way that like the market reacted to what was happening, it was still handled really well. And in like it felt like, as someone who like minted the one of the Leatherfaces, I didn't feel like you cared about the people who minted, and you're like, oh well, in an effort not to devalue these because we overestimated like demand, we're cutting these and doing what it takes kind of like to make the value for the people who did like want to participate.
And like project owners who don't buy and collect themselves, because we buy everything, we buy all sorts of stuff, and we get quite excited. But you can see which projects are run badly and how they do deal with adversity. So like we try to think how collectors will want it. We always try to give value.
And the thing is as well, you know, like it's tricky sometimes because, you know, you listen to people and they're like, you know, we're sick of seeing the same thing. We're sick of seeing, you know, and we try and experiment and we try and do things, but it's difficult as well because if you're experimenting, there's a possibility it's not going to work. Do you know what I mean? And so it's hard because you don't have, like, you can only make something that doesn't work so many times. So as much as people say we want experimentation, it's tough, like to sort of to kind of like realize that and actually try things that might not work. But like, I think we've always, you know, it would have been really easy for us to sort of make a kind of, you know, a Farmer's World clone, you know, like, like if we want to do that, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like there's got to be some creative, like, innovation or something else. Like it's not worthwhile us doing it. We're not going to do something purely for financial reasons.
And that definitely shows as a collector of ultra rare stuff. I never felt like I was being money grabbed the way it feels like in several other like NFT projects specifically. Sometimes feel like after, you know, once the like hype dies down, I feel like a lot of those projects die down with the hype. Versus ultra rares, like the hype can die down, but ultra rares still doing their thing.
You kind of have to cultivate it. It's not just constantly chasing sales. You have to kind of cultivate and nurture what you've already released, and I think that gets missed a lot, particularly with collectible projects.
We have a question in the chat, which I'm also interested in. It says, "Is the only way to get whitelisted for the new drop having to hold the Ether card?" And I guess the wax card, not the Ether card. It would be the Ether version of the wax card. But on top of that, my question is, if you are not whitelisted, like, what's the mint structure look like? Like, what is the chance of us getting a pack in the public drop? Are there only enough packs for the whitelisted people, or is there a claim on it? Like, can they buy all of the packs, or is there a chance no matter what public gets the packs?
The majority go on public. Everybody on the whitelist will get 2 packs of each. And I think there's going to be 200 people on the whitelist. Maybe it's a touch over. So I don't have the exact numbers. You're talking about 20% of the cards will go at the whitelist. Everything else, 5 minutes later, we go on public, and good luck.
What's the price structure? How big are the packs? How much are the packs?
Packs of 10s and packs of 25s, like fright packs and terror packs as normal, $15 and $37.50. In the $37.50 is the terror packs. You've got a 50% chance of getting a pack in a pack as well. Yeah. And those are a whole new, because it's the main set's based on season 1 characters. The pack in the pack is a little throwback to the Alien Horrors set. So there's there's packs in packs, and there's
so the set is, and I suppose we can talk about the set, but it's the guest collection, so it's lots of different artists' takes on the original set. So basically, the way the set works is there's 9 mini sets within the kind of the overall set, and so people can collect. If they've got a favorite artist, can collect that set, and they'll get a reward for that. But if you collect everything, you'll get double the rewards, kind of thing. We've returned to sort of series 1 numbers, so the set is really scarce. And you know, we you know, you can see the market. We know how wax has changed, but we still think that collectibles, you know, it's why we came here. It's what we enjoy. So we make things that we want to open ourselves, you know. So we think that there's still a market for that, although obviously overshadowed by the gaming aspect. So it was, we just wanted to return to that. So it's very, very the set structured very similar to the original series.
So is it guest artists taking ultra stuff and spinning it in a way that combines it with their own art style and their own collection?
Yeah, and each subset, so there's 9 artists for each with the subset doing 5 or 10 characters in their style, and there's a little bit of something for everyone. There's GPK, there's graffiti, there's comic book horrors, there's some very cool art.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I was going to say that, so there's a few of our artists that we've worked with kind of a lot. Sort of like Kev, who's sort of like, you know, did our comic. He's in there. JP, who's kind of like been our guest artist always. He kind of like is taking the limelight on this one. In a way, we always felt like people quite liked those little different sets within the sort of original sets. And one of the things that sort of concerned me was about with doing like lots of different artists in a set is like I've seen sets where they've tried that and it kind of like feels really incoherent and like a bit of a mess. But I think we've done a really good job of like making it feel quite coherent. Well, I think it feels very coherent. And it all feels like everything's got its place. Even though there's very different styles and tones and all that. So I think it would be like
any of you have a testnet account, by the way? There are packs up on the testnet if you wanted to crack one and show people.
Yeah, man, that'd be fun if you got.
Shit.
Let's crack some packs. It's the testnet packs are dead accurate as well. We've been
looking through them all week.
The packs are great because it's so scarce. The mint numbers are good. You're getting good cards, good rarities out of every pack. So we think people are going to really enjoy it.
I dig the chummy one. The chummy one was pretty dope.
Do you have a testnet account, Mark, on your computer?
Chummy,
mine's on my other PC. I'm in the living room right now. This one, I have my testnet account on my bedroom computer. But if you have one, you could rip a pack right now and check it out.
Yeah, I don't know if I have it on this computer.
I mean, you could do one, Rich.
Give me a second.
I see some of these that you guys have been posting in your Discord. Like this alien horror stuff looks pretty sick too.
That's the packs in packs.
Yeah. Dude, even just the artwork on this pack itself looks really sick.
Yeah,
the alien horror throwbacks. I'm stoked for that.
This gives me like Dragon Ball Z vibes, right? This one here.
Yeah,
these are dope. I'm looking forward to this. I like that. There's so many of them too. I'm trying to see if I can get a base set at least.
It's going to be that.
That's going to be tough.
It's going to be there's 120 cards for the base set, but if you collect the full set, there'll be 38 reward cards because you get reward cards for each subset, and if you get 5 of one subset, you get rewards for that. But then if you get the whole 120, you get an extra subset of 20 cards on top. So
if people collected the original series, the Lovecraft characters might be making a return.
Oh yeah, Lovecraft stuff I feel like has its own little niche as well in the horror genre. Like, have you ever played those tabletop Lovecraft games like Mansions of Madness or?
No, but I've played the console game, which is actually quite. I forget what it's called now. But actually, not pretty good. Kind of
you wouldn't think that a Lovecraft would do a good console game. I'd have to check that out. I haven't even heard of that.
Like a third person, you wandering around this sort of weird sort of town and it's pretty good.
It seems like it would make a good VR game. I feel like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the atmosphere and
yeah. The Lovecraft board games are all it's very much like Dungeons and Dragons style, where one person acts as the dungeon master and is playing as the board, and then everyone else is on a team trying to survive. It's like a long form gaming though. It's probably a 3 to 5 hour game if you're gonna play it with a full group of people.
That stuff's not for the faint-hearted, is it?
Yeah, I know. I've done it once or twice when I've been invited, and it's fun, but it's also not something that it's not something I have on hand.
No.
But yeah.
All right. Actually, I think I do I figured out my testnet thing.
Fuck yeah, dude. Let's see some of these packs. Let's see how
lucky you get. Packs, man.
Even if I can rip some one of ones and then
you always have to give them back. So you don't give them back, but they don't. They're not the real.
One of ones. There are 420 in this set. There's considering it's only a 60,000 card set.
I'm just trying to find the drop. Is the drop on Atomic Hub?
I'll send you the link over if
you put it in private chat, I'll do that.
And I still have promo packs left that we can give away and some marbles after this. We got some of the guest collection promo packs, then we can also give away some of our community collab packs, the Neon Space Ultra collabs.
What's the best thing I can pull from my promo pack? Because I pulled, let's see, the rarity on the one I pulled was also promo. I got the invisible.
All of them are promo, apart from there's 5 1 of ones that none have been pulled yet. So like,
Oh shit!
yeah, there's only it's. I think we're over a third cracked, but only.
Yeah, we just wanted to keep it dead simple, just to like just a sort of a fun way to promote it. Like
the promos, the set collection reward as it happens, but also I don't know if you noticed there's a blend on Nefty where if you blend any 5 of them, you get another artist. Black Fang, Lou Momoko did us extras.
Okay, that's what I was missing. I was like, okay, I see like 52 have been burned already. I need to like find out why they're being burned.
Yeah.
52 is more than just accidental burns or like spite burns.
Yeah, no, I think there's been about I think we're at 90 of the reward cards, like 45 of each. So yeah, there must be like 450 total being burned, something like that.
All right, so it was the small pack's the fright pack, right?
Yeah.
And then the terror pack is the 25 with
Go with the terror pack, dude. You gotta get
pack.
you got some from each. Okay, yeah,
Okay,
you
I got
get
5 of each here.
All right.
Does
it's
it
quite
include...
conservative, but considering they're free.
I know, right?
I have any fright
about 1,000.
Oh yeah.
I love unpacking videos.
It's all part of it, isn't it?
It really is. Oh man, that was great.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Somebody out the community also came. It's the first time he's done any work for us. Did that, didn't he, John?
Yeah, Carl.
Fuck,
that was a really cool open.
Oh, like nice. Straight legendary at the gate. 2 legendaries.
Oh wow.
Nice. An ultra rare, another legendary. It's a 10 pack. Jesus Christ.
If only this was a real pack. God damn.
Wow, you fucking just burned all your RNG on the test.
Just RNG for minute, baby.
Aye.
This is a new ultra rare.
Whoa.
Okay, yeah.
Damn, that one's dope.
Yeah, man. So this set's, there's a lot more color, a lot more sort of, obviously we've done straight horror kind of, so this is a lot more vibrant and it's got different sort of fun and
yeah, I definitely like the super colorfulness of this. Like add some color to my NFT. Oh, that one's great. I like that.
Retro, nice.
One of the subsets is purely animated as well this time. JP's art again.
Yeah, so the Retro Horrors 2, because basically it was in the original set, but we bought it back and it was just black and white in the original. So we've colored it and animated it. So it's every version of it is animated all the way through the set. So really every pack should be kind of all close to have some animated cards in, which you think is kind of fun.
So I'll do a terror pack.
That was just a small pack, that first one. Jesus, dude.
I know, that was a 10 card one. That's insane.
Like the only base that's got 3. It's got like 9. So even they're going to be hard to work.
Yeah, it's super limited.
I feel like it's bad luck to skip through an opening video.
Oh yeah,
I feel like I've wronged the RNG gods by skipping through the effort that someone put into an opening video. So I can't skip it.
Yeah, that's how you get shit RNG.
See if it matches the look of the last one.
Let's see. Oh
wow,
let's go again. Doing pretty good. But we're looking for those packs though.
You can open my packs for me.
How the fuck are you pulling such good shit, dude?
So is there one above? Is there a mythic above legendary?
It goes the ultra rare effect is above legendary, and then there's all the 1 of 1s, which is above the ultra rare. Ultra rare's got a mint of 13, legendary's 37.
Oh, okay. So legendary, ultra rare, and then are you still doing the ones where they're signed, the 1 of 1s?
Yeah, there's mythics, there's gold, there's dark foil, there's 421 of 1s in total.
And the 1 of 1s will be collectible this time. So if you can it'll be quite interesting because they're working different combinations. So if you have the sort of the mythic, the signed mythic, and then you have 2 golds, you'll get a mythic gold. But so it can unlock different. So every 1 of 1's collectible this time as well.
I like that rare look one. That one definitely reminds me of ripping collectible cards as a kid with the holographic effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the foils are like 101, so they're kind of like a
Yeah.
throwback to that as well.
I saw someone had like a framed signed frame from the comic. Was that a redeemable you guys gave out, or did they just print that and get it signed themselves, or like do you offer something like that with this new collection? Or
That was the top 13 pack crackers of Beasts and Butchers. We got the artist of the comic to like sign them, and then we framed them up and sent them out to the top.
Oh, that's really badass.
it looked super cool, and I was jealous. I was like, shit, I should open more packs.
It took us about 6 months to send those. We had them set up. Richie, I was like, Richie, you need to post these. And he's like, I'll get them. Every time he came around my house, he's like, oh shit, I forgot those. Jeez. I'm just not used to being actually doing things in real life.
That one I think is my favorite artist. The one that you just clicked away, the Undead. It's like
Those blood
super.
effects look
GPK
insane.
style, yeah.
Those blood effects are really cool.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
just
it's like bubbling.
who does the wax releases as well.
Yeah.
What's that, Rich?
Dusty Pixels, the GPK style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite
I'm
Yeah, so
looking-
there's a lot of wax sort of artists, predominantly.
that feels appropriate for a wax guest collection.
Yeah. But we brought a couple of new artists in from outside of the space, like the graffiti style. That's a new artist, anonymous.
Nice.
We also got
Graffiti
somebody approached us outside the space asking about it, and he sent a little bit of art in. We absolutely loved it, and now he works for us full time, and he's in there. So yeah, he's
artist. Fairy tale story there.
yeah.
Hell yeah. You got to rip another one because you didn't get a pack within a pack. So this is the second one. You're basically guaranteed one right now. So as long as you don't skip the opening video, that
Yeah,
is.
I know, I was tempted to.
Could open one of the alien packs as well because they're pretty cool too.
Yeah,
I kind of want to. I want to see what the one of them look like.
I might have to pick a few packs to get one of them.
20
Have
bucks.
you guys
With
thought
Mark
about
Darn.
doing like ultra rare merch or anything like that? I mean, the ultra rare and ultra horror style is like so. Oh yeah, I had a feeling with the shirt you had there.
We talked about it for about a year and a half, but you seen how long it took us to send out some 13 signed frames?
We're not very good at things that like you actually touch. We're only good to be things that like exist in the metaverse.
You know, we
Yeah.
thought about doing merch and stuff too, and it is really cumbersome. It's just so many extra layers to actually execute it. But when we talked to Juan from Nefty Blocks a couple weeks ago, and he had mentioned that Nefty was thinking about basically creating a platform and a tool for level 3 collections to be able to do merch, and they'll handle the shipping and the handling of all of the actual.
Well, we have looked. We've had a few samples from different things, and the first couple we weren't massively happy with. There's another one which again handles everything for you. There's to create a shop, and theirs is a possibility. We really like their stuff, so if we get our shit together.
That's always the thing. You got to like get samples first and make sure it's not like crap quality, because like a lot of people do offer like a full service fulfillment, but then it's like, you know, for like bare bones stuff that nobody actually wants. Like if I'm buying an ultra rare shirt, I want to wear it.
It's hard to make money on clothing. Like if you sell clothing for cheap, you have to buy super cheap clothing, and then it's just trash quality.
Yeah.
And then if you actually get high quality clothing, then you have to charge people more than they're willing to pay for the average like just branded t-shirt. So it's like you kind of have to like decide where it's like, do we charge more than $20 for a t-shirt, or do we just sell trash t-shirts to people? And like you kind of have to like figure out where you want to be on that. But physical merchandise is a lot harder than the digital
a little shout out to Sherry, who's just commented in the chat. She sent us out some very high quality hoodies as a little present to us.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
He hasn't got his yet because it came to my house.
Richie still hasn't given me mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this this is my favorite one, even though it's not the most rare. This rare look for that one,
the
for that
cosmic
style is
like
really dope.
one,
Yeah,
I like
it's,
that one
it's
too.
one of my favorite. Yeah,
I like the comic look for sure.
Yeah. I like that the base ones are honestly like I want a full set of the base ones just because I feel like that's the base artwork, right? Like
yeah.
That's the new artist that we brought in.
yeah, that oh man, these are great. Like that's so good.
Yeah, it does encourage you because each of them are cool in their own right. So it is very encouraging that you would want to collect every rarity of every template, you know?
Yeah. My most realistic goal is to at least get a set of my favorite artists stuff and then hopefully a full base set. How have you not you've gotten such good pulls, but you haven't gotten an alien horror pack?
I know.
Let's crack a few more terrors.
Yeah.
Try to
Okay.
get you an alien horrors pack.
There is all the sort of thing. Obviously, it's so hard to collect full sets of anything. Maybe it's base, but on top of that, so if you've got a certain character you like,
I'm
obviously
doing it. I'm
we're
doing
bringing
it.
the equivalent of
I'm
rare.
doing it.
So if
Oh,
you
Oh,
collect
that looks
one-
important.
yeah, so if you collect the character in each rarity, you'll get an extra.
Yeah, I did that for the is it the Alien Horrors? I think I have the Destroyer all the way up to
Hey, there you go.
Was that a one of one with the signature on it, or is that
Dude,
something
I
else?
think so.
Oh, possibly. I missed that. I was messing about with my.
Oh
Okay,
man.
Oh, that might be
killing
there's
it.
so many. It's great. You're like on like multiple packs deep of like the big packs, and I'm seeing like new artwork still. Like
Oh, the
most
set
of
is
these.
it's deep. Like
Yeah.
there's
Like
a lot
100
going
Like I
on.
haven't seen that one before yet. That's like
Yeah.
that's dope. It's fucking terrifying. Same with this one's like first time I'm seeing this right now.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff.
This one's great too.
Yeah, Mark's gonna opening a pack. Mark is gonna open a pack opening service company. He will open your packs for you and then send you the content.
These hands, baby. These hands.
It's nice.
Yeah, are those? Wait, those are the same hands that pulled Mythic Gold from our planet, aren't they?
Exactly. Yeah. I have a
Motherfucker.
track record of good RNG here.
That's true. Provable on the blockchain, unmutable, verifiable.
Exactly.
Good
Like that.
RNG. Oh, that's dope. You got the back to back with the different rarities to really see the difference in those. That's
Okay,
cool.
here we go. Got
There's
it.
the horror pack. Where's that one of one though?
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see what you
I'm not
got.
sure if it's the one of one, but it looked.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
Lovely.
Oh, that's dope as fuck.
That's,
It's
the,
like the
actually, that's the
cycle.
first one, the first mythic I've seen, and I've cracked a ton of packet.
I haven't had it. I haven't landed one either. No, I've cracked them.
It only took me like
Mythic
4.
What is that, Mark? Like 4 packs deep or
Yeah.
something?
Decent,
They
decent.
call me Mythic Mark.
Got it back.
Oh man, yeah, that is
Good.
pretty dope.
That's super
I mean,
cool. That's
in
like-
fairness, the packs are like you're getting a lot of good rarity in every pack because the numbers are so like small. So
yeah,
it's
that's
this is
definitely
reflective. But yeah, that's good RNG on the mythic.
So the ultra, these are the
Ooh,
ones
that
that
one
have
looks dope,
13
too.
max, right?
Yeah.
What mint you get on that
That's
one?
sick.
Fuck
It was
yeah, dude.
9.
I got mint 13 of the ultra rare destroyer. Fucking stoked
I
on
guess
that.
the
Oh,
one-
that was cool. He had
one
like a
was-
really subtle animation where he was like bobbing his head. I almost
Yeah,
missed it.
pulling the
That was
person
good.
This is
apart.
number
yeah.
1. Nice.
Oh
Nice.
hell yeah, mint 1.
Shit, you got
Oh.
2 mythics.
Fuck off, Mark.
Let's go.
Wow.
Mythic Mark's at it again.
This one's sick. Oh my
That
god.
was super sick. Yeah,
You've screwed yourself for the main packs now.
I know, right?
I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm not gonna open any testnet packs.
Wait, so
Yeah, I
where's
got-
the
I'm gonna
signature on this
open
one?
it.
Is it like tucked away somewhere? or
is that
it
a-
just-
Is that also a 101?
That's
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
bottom right.
Yeah, so a lot of the artists, it's like their logos.
Oh, the
or-
bottom right, the
They,
M there.
they
Oh, okay.
chose what? Yeah, they chose what they wanted to put on.
Cool.
God
But
damn, dude, what a
that's
pack!
quite impressive.
Yeah,
That was
take
insane.
notes on which mints I'm opening.
Have you opened
Yeah.
the rebirth pack yet?
No, I'm gonna open this.
No, let's see how this goes. The Alien Horror Rebirth. I'm stoked for these two because the Alien Horror set was like the set I went hardest on in Ultra Rare so far is like my favorite.
What was
set.
our introduction to Ultra Rare?
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
yeah,
weren't
you're
on
right.
the first drop, the Ultra Rare series.
Yeah, you know what's funny? The one where I pulled the 2 mythics, I skipped the video opening. So maybe I'm wrong.
oh shit, yeah, oh shit, it's
Oh, those are sick.
oh, that
Nice.
was dope. Oh, these look dope.
Okay, so this is your 6 card packs, right?
6 cards, yeah.
These are limited. There's only like 1,000 packs or 6,000 total.
Oh wow.
Fucking hell.
Nice.
Okay, it's the same style, but it's gray. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah, it's
animation
kind
on
of
that
like
one too.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the Alien Horrors one. Yeah, there's like the rare had like the green kind of slime on it, so it looks a little homage to that.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, this is dope.
Damn. That was
Nice.
Yeah,
sick.
the Ultra Rare's got a little bit of a. You obviously didn't crack one then, but the Ultra Rare's got a little bit of a homage to the first Alien Horror
Yeah.
series as well.
Damn, dude. You got some.
It's
good
quite addictive, isn't it? It's like-
Yeah, rip a few more.
Gonna- I think I'm gonna switch over to marbles.
Oh
here,
yeah,
so
you can switch over. I'm just
for the giveaway
doing it for
portion of
fun,
the
dude.
stream.
you could just show us all the mythics that you pull.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna Mark next gonna give away the mythic testnet NFTs.
yeah. If you want to have get some kick-ass stuff on your testnet wallet, I'll send it to you.
I do have some pretty killer testnet shit too. Actually, I'll buy some. People will list stuff on the market. And I'll buy some testnet shit every now and then just to fuck around. No,
Oh,
it's
should I
fun.
just pull the gold one? Nice.
Wow. You'll have to show us that one.
Yeah.
Drop the mark screen back on.
Yeah, let's see this old one.
It's
Oh, yeah.
very good good RNG you've got.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
another
Look
pack.
at
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, another cosmic. I like that.
Did you already flip by the gold one, or was that earlier?
No, it's I'm getting there. This one.
Nice.
Oh, mint one too.
Yeah, they're all one of ones.
Oh, they're all
Oh,
one
okay.
ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, you got
Yeah, that
3
one's
one of
sick.
ones out of 5 packs so far.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Mark.
that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Like, it's cool with the texture too. You can kind of see like texturing on the card itself.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a bump map or something, like pushing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gone for the foils this time.
All right. Well, anyway, you can switch back, Lou.
Fuck yeah. I feel like I'm just gonna rip my other like promo packs before we give these out, just so I can get my 1-on-1s.
All right. So for these
Before the
marble
drop.
races, first place prizes will be these guest collection promo packs from the Ultra Horrors that's promoting this drop that's coming up. And then second and third place will get our Neon Space Ultra Rare Community Pack collabs, which is a 1-card pack. So top 3 places, we'll get some packs to open some stuff.
Oh, we have to give you a bit of credit here, boys, because we stole the 1-card pack idea from you guys.
Hell yeah, dude! It's a fun experience, right? Like,
yeah, no, we were like, Richie was like, I like that. I'm gonna.
As soon as it started, I said, we'll do that for Pro. That's brilliant. I liked it a lot.
hell yeah.
We did. We were talking about it, and we did credit you guys.
Well, we've stolen enough from you guys that it's
circular
Yeah,
line.
going around, coming around. Yeah, definitely. Like, it makes for a fun experience because we were doing it. Like, we got that idea because we like the crypto monkeys, where it was like, oh, Monkey Man, you get like airdropped free, random NFTs. But then I kept getting the same one over and over again. So I was like, oh well, if it's gonna be the same one, at least make it like give me the RNG, give it to me in a pack. Even if the RNG is, I'll mostly get this one. I don't care.
It's just more fun, isn't it? Opening a pack.
Yeah.
So we thought that was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And we should maybe talk about our collab we did, and that seemed to go pretty well.
I was just going to say, I got a drop something from you. Did you send something out for the most cracked packs as well, recently?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was great. I love that. There's 25 of those went out. And then I Am the KY in our community got like a 1-of-1 as well because he had the top packs ripped. And it was like, it was fun. It's fun. That's like the type of set reward stuff that we're also like lifting from you guys, I think.
Yeah. It's all fair game, isn't it?
Yeah, influenced by. Not
yeah,
a.
it's a highest compliment, isn't it? Really.
Nice.
So yeah, but no, we took that idea. We like that one.
Excellent.
Yeah, we used it was Horrors Doodles for the promos, but they did, I say Lude Momoko did for the rewards set for them, so you can go over and Netby and blend your shit for that, and that's quite a cool piece that Fang did as well. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of artists involved in this.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much artwork. I love that though, because even when we watched Mark rip like 5 big packs, that's still like most of the stuff coming out of the 5th pack was still like first time versions of artwork or even new artwork I hadn't seen yet.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Trading's going to be massive on this set. I say I've cracked about 20 packs. I didn't even get like a base set completed through all that. So then to complete these sets, it's going to have to be good trade, and you're not going to be able to do it alone.
Yeah. Damn,
And we've
I'm
always
excited.
sort of encouraged that, and tried to get people like involved. If people trading, come and check us. We always do good trading. Loads of the community are really good traders as well. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely a fun part of like the actual collectible side of like Wax NFT stuff is like meeting people through trade offers and stuff.
yeah,
And now that the trade offer stuff is getting a little bit more like robust within the wallet too, it's kind of like nice. I guess I've never really done like on OpenSea I do a lot where I'll make offers to people's NFTs that aren't necessarily on the market, and I know you can do that now on Atomic Hub too, but I feel like no one really does that yet.
yeah.
It's good to have the notifications back in action.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also, I'm a little like weary sometimes when I get those offers anyway, because it'll say something, but I'm like, is that really what the transaction is if I do this? Like, I'm worried that it like, it's some type of scam where it's like, oh, the offer says I'm getting 1,000 wax for this, but then when I sign the transaction, it ends up being like 1,000th of a wax or some shit.
Yeah, there's some sneaky devils out there, aren't there?
Yeah. I always assumed that
they had like it superimposed as if it was a wax back NFT as well, like on the image. And so like,
oh,
a thousand.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Damn, I never even thought of that. Yeah, so somebody made an artwork where the like wax back thing is just part of the image, and it makes it look like it's. Yeah, sneaky.
That is very sneaky.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that was definitely a thing that people used to do too. Is like wax back burner NFTs and then like do trade offers that way. But I feel like I always avoided doing that just because I feel like it was like a weird like way around like the tokenomic fees.
Yeah,
I didn't want to get like, I don't know. I didn't want to get in trouble with Atomic Hub because it is like weirdly like, you know, it's not like 100% decentralized when you look at the Atomic Hub like token standard for NFTs on Wax. So I want to piss off Daddy Atomic Hub. Not that they really care what individual traders do, and I think it's kind of common practice actually to like.
And also, it's there. What else is it for? I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's what it's for. I was just kind
of like, well, with them, and they were like, "Why? What is the actual use case behind it?" But they seem to think it was useful for other things. But
yeah, it's a way to avoid tokenomics. cut
it's
the
weird. You
collector
can
and the
back
markets out.
stuff that's not in your wallet. Like, you can back NFTs in other people's wallets.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Did you see that? There was a kind of like there was like a spate of like big whales in space getting their like, you know, prized ones getting backed with like 0.01 wax or some shit.
People do it to troll people for sure.
Yeah, that's funny. I know. I remember someone in our community like misunderstood how trading worked back in like the height of our planet and wanted like to do a trade for like an our planet rig, and then they just backed the rig that they wanted to trade for, and then the person was like, "I'm not going to burn my rig." Like,
Jesus,
I got fucking boned. I wonder if they ever burned that rig now that they're probably worth a lot less, and it's backed.
Yeah, the rig's probably worth less than the wax they backed it with at this point, because that was like at the height of our planet.
Yeah, that was like someone backed their rig with like 1,000 wax, and it's just like, all right, send me the rig now. It's like, well, you just backed it with 1,000 wax. Like, definitely not going to do that.
Wait, I see in this Medium article there's a like Creepo the Clown chain creature. Is that something that like you can pull out of these packs?
Yeah.
Yep. It's quite rare. It's just a sneaky little bonus one thrown in the mix.
I mean, there's loads of stuff hidden in those packs. There's some.
Okay, so there's all kinds of little goodies you may.
Is Creepo a one-of one, or is there a like small run of him?
Yeah, very
like
25
of him, but yeah, he's just a one-off from Chain Creatures.
Oh, nice. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this all plays out too, because I do think it's a interesting time in like the NFT world in general, as like the markets are a little slumpy. People seem to have a little slump in their appetite for NFT collecting too.
Yeah,
but
we're interested to see that as well, but we'll tell you on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, like what can you do? You know what I mean? Like the market's the market.
Exactly.
All we can do is make stuff we like and we think people will enjoy, and
yeah,
the rest,
I agree with that too.
is what it is. You know,
yeah.
And
we can see a lot of our community don't have a lot of wax at the moment, and so
yeah, that's
definitely right back. We did talk about like the 13-minute open sale worked really well for Series 2 because everyone could get the fill, but we wanted this one to be for the collectors proper scarcity again.
Yeah, but the market's changed, hasn't it? And we wanted to bring back that real scarcity and you know, like Series 1 cards held their value very well, and these are rarer than those. So,
and these are all pre-minted, right?
Yeah, we went fully pre-mint rather than the hybrid because the numbers are so low. The hybrid didn't make quite so much sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. I actually love that. Pre-minted is the way to go, I think, for collectibles.
I think on the really big, like I think on Series 2, it worked well because it was such a big set that you could have different levels of. It made sense that there wasn't specific numbers on them, but when you're only talking like 90 for the uncommons and less than 250 for the base, you don't really want that huge disparity, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. And like the pre-minted just lets you dictate exact mint numbers, which I think
having like the ultra rares be limited to 13 exactly is really nice.
Yeah, Series 1 we did, those ultra rares were stupidly limited. Like, they were meant to average at 6, but it was half and half. So that meant some of them only has 3. So
Yeah.
So yeah, they're
I was gonna say I have one I think that has only 4 mints.
Yeah. That was kind of like a nice thing about the set in a way that it rewarded sort of eagle-eyed collectors who sort of knew the cards and could get a bargain and stuff.
Yeah, they also like paid for themselves in their ether money back then.
Family's wondering, the yelling of its time is the cue to join the giveaway.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think's next for Wax? What do you think? I feel like we're sort of coming out the bat. Like these games have had this sort of. I feel like we're kind of over that a bit.
Clickers.
I agree.
It feels like that.
Yeah, I think Rush to make a staking game is like the I'll just put staking in there somewhere and I'll just print money. I think that day and age is over, thank God. Although, I think the collectors are maturing a little bit in the sense of not just YOLOing into some token and thinking it's all going to be like our planet back in the day, which I think is a healthy growth overall.
Hard to say what do you think is next though? I think I like the idea of like a new NFT token standard on like a big picture, what's next kind of concept where instead of NFTs being minted as atomic standard NFT assets, having there be a token standard for NFTs on Wax that's dictated by like a DAO that all of the marketplaces participate in, so that instead of having every marketplace like Nifty Blocks, Atomic Hub, NFT Hive, Chain Champs, and all of them competing with each other for market share, rather they are all using like an NFT standard that benefits all of the players. And whenever I feel like that's a big picture.
I think that's a cool concept, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't.
Oh no. I mean, like over the next like 3 years or something.
And also, Atomic Hub give up that fucking centralization. They're making so much.
Exactly. Atomic Hub has a huge like position to keep the ways in status quo because they have like a kind of like the ability to do things with NFT token standards, like accept a different currency other than Wax to trade NFTs on your marketplace. Like Nifty Blocks couldn't sell the NFTs in their secondary market for Nifty tokens because of the atomic standard. So
also, I'd say Nifty's grown, but I know I read something where they've got very low percentage of actually. I think Atomic's still massively monopolized. By like share, I wouldn't have said without a fight.
Yeah, exactly, and that's I think like a very big picture thing of like what might be new on Wax. Before that, though, I think. Maybe I'm really looking forward to like games like Nova Rally and games that have like been around for a while but are now like they use their hype funding to actually build the stuff that they promised. I think the next thing we're gonna see in Wax is like delivered promises from some of the actual,
we got a bunch of games that raised like $1 million last year that are almost like getting closer to actually delivering something. So I do think we'll start seeing like the money that was raised during the hype phase is going to actually have some results like the next year or so, which a lot of that stuff, like the hype came and then went, and then there's no product, just the hype and the money went. But it's like,
like 80% of those projects fucked off with the money.
Should be releasing stuff. There are a bunch of teams that are just like, we're going to pocket the money and fuck Wax. But there are some people that have been building this entire time. And I think that stuff is going to start getting released in the next 6 months or so.
Yeah, well, in Costume Clash, I mean, didn't Josh say that they're going to be able to list Costume Clash on Steam?
Yeah, that's dope.
So, I mean, to have a game that incorporates NFTs that's listed on Steam, I think is a pretty big.
I thought Steam had banned sort of like anything that's connected.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah,
so the way that he gets around it is very interesting.
Oh, so he's been sneaky, is he?
No, they're aware of like he's pretty above board, but like the way that his
NFT and none of the NFT marketplace stuff can be in the game. Basically, like you can't buy stuff with an NFT or a cryptocurrency in the game as long as that's all happening on Atomic Hub, and the game is totally just through that. I think he said like that's okay as long as like there's no crypto purchases happening in the app.
A bit of a loophole kind of thing.
Yeah, it's basically like his game would reference outside of Steam's environment. It would reference like his database to tell you what the user has as available items, and that database
boards
can be the NFT database instead of having it be like a private database. And because there's no operational difference in it being NFTs or not NFTs to Steam doesn't really mind.
Oh, right.
Is what I understood from that.
That's really interesting, isn't it? Because that could potentially, if it was done right, you could bring players into it, couldn't you? And sort of
exactly.
Oh, that's
so
really,
and I think
smart.
creators like him are, you know, coming into this world as game developers. Like he had already launched a game on PlayStation, so like the fact that we're seeing more of that, you know, game developers first making games first and then having the NFT side of it, I think that's more like where we're moving towards, where it's
Also,
like, you know, actual gaming.
Hopefully.
Because he's has Costume
Fingers
Kingdom, you can download it right now in the PlayStation Store. Like he has the connections to get his games on consoles, and he's developing his games to work on consoles. He's like, I want this to be in consoles. Which we've actually talked to him about that as well. He's like, the Microsoft Store and the PlayStation Store will not let you have crypto games. Same thing, kind of like Steam. So he's like, the reason you're not seeing crypto games on those is not because the developers are not working towards it. It's because they won't allow it. But he's like, the second they let us do that, like Costume Clash is going to be available on consoles. So like, he's definitely working towards it, and he actually has the knowledge of like that realm, where a lot of people I feel like come from the crypto realm and are trying to jump into the game world, know nothing about it. He comes from the gaming world, so he has a lot of knowledge that just people here don't. I think that's very, very valuable.
Yeah, and his ability to connect with Steam in that way, having that background, helps skip a lot of the red tape to get there.
Yeah. And then I think like Nova Rally is also doing their thing where like they're making the like visual version of it, and it's kind of like, you know, it's like we'll play games like Zed Run or Chicken Derby recently on stream, and people are like, oh, how come there's no games like this on Wax? It's like, well, there will be soon, you know. And I feel like hopefully that's kind of like where we're going with the future. And then I'm hoping for more DeFi, because it's really like advantageous to trade with the fee structure on Wax. Like if you can trade between like wrapped Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you know, you don't necessarily need Wax to be part of that equation. You could potentially trade, you know, like Bitcoin for USDT on Wax using Wax's, you know, token structure.
Basically, you can trade 3 cents worth of Bitcoin. You cannot trade 3 cents worth of Bitcoin anywhere else because the fee costs more than 3 cents. So it's like you just can't trade Bitcoin unless you're trading large amounts. But on Wax, because the fee structure is basically feeless, you could do stuff like that, which is part of the problem with why like flippers are so bad, is because you can flip something for 1 cent more than you bought it. And like, well, with RAM and stuff, you need to do a little more than that. But like the overhead of how you can make money is much lower on Wax without the fees. So you do have a problem with people flipping stuff for less. Whereas on Ether, you have to pay $50. So you're not going to sell something for $50. Like you got to at least add 50 to what you're selling.
They still do.
The whole thing is that the Wax like infrastructure is really well positioned, I think, for like that microtransaction type of trading economy. And
that's interesting. Yeah.
And
sort of like,
the core team knows it. I mean, they maintain a Wax bridge. If you go like right now, if I could go to my like Wax Cloud wallet, I can click on the ETH bridge, scroll down, and I can bridge over right now DAI, USDT, USDC, Ethereum, Bitcoin, WBTC, Ren BTC. So like there's real, you know, big time assets like WBTC and Ethereum and all those stable coins that you can bridge into the Wax blockchain through the centralized bridge maintained by the core team of the Wax blockchain. So similar
to
do
nothing with them right now. Like if you bridge over,
that's the thing. Yeah, you can't do. What the fuck are you gonna do? There's no liquidity for
Wax. There is no marketplace where that's paired. So like you're just sitting on an asset that has no way to get into any other asset. So like we've been waiting for the longest time somebody to build something that incentivizes people to move that stuff over and then pair it with Wax, which is sort of what DeFi Box is doing. Like DeFi Box added Wax USDT. So now like they're paying people Box if you provide liquidity there, which makes it so if I pair my USDT or like bridge it over from Ether, I can actually now trade it and do Wax because there's liquidity. So we need more stuff like that. That's like building DeFi and Wax to incentivize people to move over the tokens that are worth trading here.
Yeah, the DeFi will bring more money to the chain, and then more money on the chain will bring more collectors and NFT buyers into an ecosystem that is very well catered to NFTs, which is what Wax is. But yeah, the DeFi brings the money. For sure.
Yeah. And I mean, right now, USDT has a bilateral liquidity depth of 21,000 Wax, which isn't
not
like,
a lot.
Not a lot of Wax. Like,
it's also split between Alcor. It's like 50% on each right now, which is not good for like they should all be in one spot.
Real quick before I forget, I'm gonna post this Medium article for your guys' sale.
Cool.
Chat, yeah.
So people can read it. So that's that.
And that's on
Get
Sunday
all
again,
the
right?
hard numbers, baby.
Yeah, Sunday 6 p.m. UTC.
Which
And
I believe is 11 a.m. our time, 11 a.m. Pacific time.
2 hours ago.
I'm definitely looking forward to that, though, like emerging more on Wax. And that's kind of like at the head of when we started talking is what I was saying, where it's like I'm excited to see things like Nefty blocks and, you know, in a lesser exciting way, our planet, you know, creating like legitimate DeFi like incentives for deepening and strengthening their liquidity pools. Because if you look at the Nefty token, for example, like Nefty Wax, there's real liquidity in those assets now. Like let me look it up actually before I just say random numbers. But it's because there's a legitimate like incentive structure. Because at the end of the day, like I'm interested in supplying this liquidity, but I do that where the incentive is right, if it makes sense, you know? Like right now, let's see, Nefty token is sitting on a liquidity depth of, oh wow, well done, 925,000 wax bilateral.
Damn.
So almost a million wax available in liquidity for that token. So that's compared to 21,000 wax on the USD tether. Like, so again, I feel like we're gonna see wax maturing with incentives moving for supplying these assets. But in reality, right now, I mean, why the fuck would you move your Ethereum or your Bitcoin or your USDT into the wax ecosystem when there's opportunities to make liquidity yield from other DeFi blockchains like Crypto.com's Kronos chain has ridiculously high yield opportunities. So does Harmony. So does honestly just Ethereum mainnet. And when those opportunities outpace the opportunities on Wax, then the fee structure of how Wax transactions work don't really incentivize shit, because I don't care how cheap the transactions are if I'm not able to at least make the same amount of yield for a liquidity that I'm supplying. So ultimately, you know, yield farming and supplying liquidity is protocols paying people for their liquidity, like renting liquidity from users.
Which,
and,
I mean, 3 months ago,
rent's not
there's
great.
literally almost none of that on Wax. Like 3 months ago, DeFi blocks didn't exist. Nefty was not incentivizing liquidity. Even our planet is now incentivizing their liquidity, but none of those existed 3 months ago. So I think that we'll see more and more of that in the near future. Just to kind of wrap this up, I feel like we're ranting about DeFi too much.
Yeah, I get too off
But
the
it is kind of fun, the idea that you could wrap your Wax NFTs and or there will be a bridge between Wax and Ethereum for the NFTs as well. So for projects like yours that exist on both chains and are trying to cultivate you know, interest on both chains, having that ability to jump back and forth, it seems like a kind of a cool opportunity and jumping off point. And I'm curious to see how people use that to connect Wax and Ethereum with NFTs itself.
I feel like more projects will do that cross-chain stuff. I mean, Ultra Rare has done it so seamlessly and so well. I'm really looking forward to what, like, do you have any ideas of what's like another thing in the works for this cross-chain stuff? Like you said, you've built it now, so you might, we've
got quite a few ideas, but yeah, we've got one particular idea that's I can't talk about too much, but
we got very
could be a lot of
teaser
fun.
for you to come next time.
a lot of fun for people, and like, yeah.
But it'll take months. It takes, so we can't talk about it now because we were talking about it for ages. But yeah, no, we came up with an idea that we were loving the other day. So
yeah.
In the pub, as always.
Nice. Well, I mean, there's so much going on right now too.
Like, and I've always said it from the start that, like, you know, I came into this as a collector, so I got no particular affinity to blockchains, or, you know, and people are super tribal about it, and I don't have that. Like, I don't, because I mean, Wax is our home because that's where that was our way into it, and you know, it's where our community is. But outside of that, I've got, like, do you know what I mean? It's why does it have to be all you're over there? Why can't we all play together? And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's kind of like the same, to that same end. It's like with the tokens too, not just with the NFTs. You know, it's like you keep your Ethereum on whatever chain has the most like use for it, because that's where your community is or whatever. It's not because I love Ethereum, but because that's where my community happens to be at the moment.
Well,
and then if we move to Wax, guess where I'll bridge my Ethereum? Like
the whole thing with like the leather faces and the PFPs, there's very few that like it's not the same market on Wax. Obviously, Senor Lupe does it quite well. We like working with him, but there isn't. But while on Ethereum, it's just standard. It's PFPs is all the way. You don't do collectible sets, obviously, because you can't trade for a reasonable value. So yeah, just for that, it made sense.
Yeah, I like the Senor Lupe stuff too, but they're not generative, are they? Because they're just like pre-made, and you can choose which one you like. Which
they're all pre-made, and then he releases them 100 at a time. So there is like kind of I like what he does, releasing them in small batches because of the scarcity value, rather than just dump 10,000 and be like, all right, we're just gonna leave this open and hope we make our money. So I think that's done well, that he can kind of gauge demand in that way.
Yeah,
but it is not generative.
I thought he generated in advance and then just released them 100 at a time, but I didn't realize he.
I don't know if you guys have like how much you've interacted with him, but obviously we did the recent collaboration with him. He's quite a character.
Yeah, he's fun.
Very fun.
I got one of his chummies too. Check it out.
Yeah, Max got laser eyes.
Boom, Mr. Nice. Chummy, 269, baby.
So you'd have got your collab pieces.
Dark Horse,
yeah.
Oh, I did, yeah. So if I go back to my account,
yeah, that was fun.
I got here Dark Horse and El Chummy.
There's your 666 card too.
I got my card, yeah.
Again, we've been doing a couple of blends, so you can blend a different version of Dark Horse as well. There's a smoky version over on Nefty.
Do you have a plan to release? Because not all 666 have been minted of the 666 card, right? Do you have a plan to release the remaining in any way?
Oh yeah,
possibly. We wouldn't rule it out, but we've got it's not something we sort of desperate to do. Or I think if we have plans for the 666 and kind of like become its own thing in a way. And I think that we want it to grow organically, and if there comes a point, then they're there and we can open them out. But we're no desperate rush to do that.
Get the floor price and the value right on the 308 that are already minted, because we have to mint the other ones. It's written in the contract at 0.13 Ethereum anyway, and we don't even want to start thinking about that until one, we've got a reason to, and two,
I think the guys who are on Ethereum and use it have got good value from it. So,
yeah.
I was more curious because I want one on Wax and they're really expensive. So,
we're in super strong hands. They're not gonna get rid of those things easily. I think.
Yeah, one day.
That's true.
When there's a good reason to, because we have to do it on Ethereum first. So to know it.
It's definitely an NFT that's held by mostly like hardcore NFT collectors. So
yeah,
it's a hard one to pry from people's collection.
It's also really not a lot of those. They're super scarce.
Yeah, the reward cards end up generally in like hardcore collectors' hands, obviously, as well. So they don't. You just can't buy it.
Yeah, no, we still got a really strong sort of collector base of like genuine collectors, which is nice. Because I think it's quite weird, because I know we were talking to a project recently, a gaming project, about whitelisting, and they were saying also like your set's just, they couldn't like wrap their head around that our set was just collectibles, and it was like we were like, well, this is what this was before it became something else, that like just like that's mind-boggling. It's like, well,
it's weird when people are like, what, it's just artwork? You're like, you realize people have been buying artwork for thousands of years. Like the art market is not a new thing. Like people appreciate artwork for just the artwork. That's not a new concept on the internet. But for whatever reason, some people in the NFT space, you can tell, are definitely for the utility and not for the artwork, because they're just like, I don't value artwork at all.
Utility with the money.
Yeah, the utility.
I like to think that we probably got the people on Wax who actually are collectors and who actually like art and are in it for the fun of it. I'd say we've collected a decent chunk of the people on Wax who are in it for those reasons. I don't think
we for sure have. I always say our example, like we've had several game partnerships. We partnered with like Wax Arena. We partnered with some other games. That was less valuable than the list you gave us of your collectors to airdrop our like bonus thing to. Like attracting those people, that like market research was more valuable than any of the gaming stuff, because the gaming stuff attracts people that want utility. It doesn't attract collectors. So we kind of realized the hard way. We kept trying to partner with games, and it was like those people just flipped our stuff. They had no interest in collecting it if it didn't have the gaming utility. But like you have actually found the collector market, and it does exist. And then whenever people tell me they're like, there aren't real collectors on Wax, it's all just utility, it's all flippers, it's all bullshit. I'm like, it's not. Like, it's harder to find the collectors, but you need to advertise and market to the right audience. Because if you're marketing ROI and you're marketing that, like, you're gonna get nothing but flippers, and they're not interested in collecting.
Yeah, and a small subset of real collectors want to spend on your artwork, whereas having 10,000 people that are gonna buy like $1 NFT, like, is that really that valuable? A true collector is worth 1,000 of those people.
That's honestly like my position on when I bought the 666 card. I wasn't like necessarily looking for the whitelist utility side of any of it. I was just like, oh man, a rare like thing to support ultra rare on the Ethereum blockchain, and I collect NFTs here, so fuck yeah, I'm into this. And like it's never about like as a collector, it's never about like, oh, I'll get something in the future, or I'll be able to flip this in the future, as much as it's like, oh, I have like a 666 thing in my wallet that now like identifies my wallet as part of this like collector community. That's the end of it for me, and I feel like
cool.
And I feel like that's like a lot of collectors have similar mentality on that, where it's like, oh yeah, I bought that because I like the artist, or I bought that because I like the people behind it, and that's it. Or same with
the narrative going around that doesn't exist in the Wax space, and that's a false narrative. Like, it does exist, it's just not as big as the massive amount of people that want play to earn games and ROI, and that is a bigger audience on Wax, but both audiences exist. You just have to find the right one. Like,
this is it. Wax was built on collectibles, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? And I think it's a bit of a shame that they're sort of like they're denying that almost, or like,
that's a good point. Yeah, the origins of Wax were collectible brands.
Yeah, we came here for garbage pail kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't forget that, because there is still, and they're the best people in the community. Do you know what I mean? Because they're there for the good reasons and for enjoyment and fun, which is, without that, the community is just horribly toxic and just not a place you particularly want to be, I don't think. And it's kind of one of the reasons, like, we could have done the staking thing, and we've just resisted, because I think as well, if when you commit to something like that, we wouldn't be like, right, we think about, well, where's it going to be 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? So we've really kind of like fought quite hard to resist that, because it's constantly that question of like, well, where's the value? It's like, well, the value's in the fact that we've worked really hard to create this thing, and it's you enjoy it, like, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Like, do you know what I mean? But
it's just gonna suck all your time to then now you're gonna spend all your time trying to maintain and keep the staking economy going, and that's not what you're good at. It's not what you like to do. So it's like, wow, I've just like basically handcuffed myself to this thing that I really don't like, but now I have to keep it going for however long.
It all becomes about how do you sell, and I think we've I think if we're in that position, if we're in that position, we'll stop doing it, because I think that, like, that's.
I don't think selling's our strong point. We don't like the.
I absolutely despise it, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Like, over fucking telling everybody, oh, buy this, it's fucking amazing, it's going to do this, and this. We like building the stuff and
I love creating and enjoying it. But we're not salespeople. We're not. That's not.
Yeah, at this point, it's also like if you sell this stuff with like game utility and all that stuff promised in mind, and then, like we said, like, I feel like you end up, the hype and the idea of what you're selling is always, in practice, at least from what I've seen, is always worth more than the delivered product. Where everyone, like, no matter how much you try and how well you like deliver on your stuff, like, people are going to be upset because they extend their expectations during the hype phase when you made your money. And then they feel like you owe them the hype that they imagined because they spent money at those hyped prices. But that money was spent on the secondary market and not like given to those creators. And I feel like it's like Sammy Snake, I thought, was a good example of that, where like he pitched a game and then delivered that fucking game, and people are still pissed. People are like, oh, well, the prices are not like what these. It's just like, well, yeah, but it's because the prices were like through the fucking roof on weird speculation, but the game that like was pitched initially is there. And now that people are like, oh, it would be cool if it would be like a visual game, not just a like, a transaction signing game, then it's like, okay, well, like it's moving towards that now, but that wasn't even the original sell pitch. So it's like beyond what he delivered is already beyond what he pitched, and it's still like not worth more than it was during the hype phase.
Yeah.
And I feel like that,
and I guess people accusing Sammy of being like a dirtbag and a shitty project leader and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even really think Sammy did much.
Nothing wrong, right? Yeah.
He made some mistakes. Like he's definitely like balanced the economy,
yeah.
but like I don't know. He's not like it's not the same thing as like rug pulling utility and saying you're going to launch a game and then not building it. Like there's definitely like different layers of like messing up, and then like I don't know. Sometimes the audience doesn't care. Sometimes it's all about money to them, and they don't really care who's running the project or what they're doing.
And I think gaming more than art collecting has that attached to it, because if I'm buying something that has a promise of future delivery of something else, then I'm, I have that expectation now, versus when I buy, the ultra rare like guest collection, I open it, I have fun, I add it to my collection, and then every time I see it in there, I'm not like, oh, when's my ROI coming in?
With joy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Every time I look at it, I'm not like, when is this going to get me my ROI I was promised?
When is it going to hatch?
Like, oh, this is dope.
You're not magically going to look at it for the 100th time and be like, now I like it exponentially more.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I like that about.
I look at it again, I still like it.
There's an innocence. There's an innocence to it.
I like that about the collectible sides, that you just don't have that muddiness of like the gaming NFT side of this whole like space, where it's like, there's so many gaming assets that I have in my wallet where I'm like, God, I'll see them in there. I'm like, fuck, this game didn't deliver any of this shit. And like, it's just irritating. And it's not like I bought it because I like the way that this like, handgun looks or whatever.
Like in a way that, and I think if we definitely have plans to do a game, and we've explored it in so many different ways, and we just still hasn't quite been right for us. But I think it has to be fun. And I think if it's fun, like, and then maybe people can make a bit of money from it. I think that's as much as like a genuine project should be trying to deliver, in a way, like make something fun, and then really the rest of it should kind of take care of itself. But none of these games are fun, so they have to. Do you know what I mean? It's
because they're designed with ROI first, not designed to be played as a game, and that's the fundamental flaw in a lot of these projects.
I wouldn't even say they're designed for ROI. ROI would assume that they know how to balance an economy. They're designed to sell packs. They just use a bunch of buzzwords to sell shit. They don't design anything that's meant for the customers. It's just meant for them to make money.
Some secondary market as well, and then they have a horrible discount.
Which is what I think you're seeing some of the, and also I was talking. We were on another stream talking about it as well, and like running these projects, it takes a lot of stamina. You guys all know, like it's hard work, and like you got to be there every day. It's a job. It's kind of like what comes. Obviously, we enjoy it. We like being in this space, and we want to be. But like you see these projects, and they make a ton of money, and it's like, well, it's diminishing returns, and they're like, well, why am I doing this? And that's the kind of like probably the difference between us and those projects is we wouldn't do that because we know that like what we'd be committing to. I think, which is what's made us sort of really cautious and thoughtful about it. But yeah, I don't think that these projects realize how much work it is, and it can be tough, and you've got to keep going and all that.
I think a lot of projects don't even intend on rug pulling. Like there's been projects that have rug pulled, like Journey to Godhood. I don't think that was ever intended to be a rug pull. I think he started it and then ran into a huge hurdle, and then was just like, the amount of work it's going to take to recover, not worth my time. I'm out. Like I don't think he was even intending on doing that originally, but like I think there's a lot of projects. I even think Wax Arena was the same way. Like I think Arata actually was planning on developing that game, but then when he started running into development hurdles, he's like, okay, I just realized I make all my money in the hype phase, and then during development, I can't raise money anymore. So I'm just going to go hype 2 new games on different blockchains instead of developing the one I have. But like, I do think like some of these people don't come in with bad intentions, but then they don't realize how hard it's going to be to do what they do, and then just pivot when they run into challenges. And that's
it's easy to sell. It's easy to sell packs. It's not easy to build and cultivate community, maintain your project, and take care of what you've already sold. That's much, much harder and takes a lot more time and effort and stamina, like you said.
It's also quite a lot of
always chase the sales.
So these small teams, the maybe can't bring everything together. The maybe can do a good game development. Maybe they've got good artists, but there's very few who've got that all levels and can do the economics right. They're like There's a lot.
And that's kind of one of the things we've, because we didn't have any experience in games or in game design other than like playing them a lot. And going to sort of legitimate gaming studios and having all those conversations, like it's so difficult to make like a game that's worth playing. So much sort of resources and going into that like we've realized that it's kind of like, if we want to do that, it's just a gigantic commitment and not one we're necessarily sort of afraid of, but it has to be right because it's like, we couldn't just go, wow, let's go and do Space Monsters, Farm Pirate, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like,
that would sell. That would.
Yeah,
like,
that would crush.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah. When is that one dropping?
I'm all out for it.
Yeah, space farming horror tales.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? I think genuine game development is a lot of work, a lot, and.
Oh yeah, I mean, big studios with like huge budgets and enormous teams do it and fail all the time.
Yeah,
and that's and then you get people in the space coming in and thinking it's like
how hard
a matter of it's like a matter of raising the right amount of money, but it's not a question of just having the money.
I keep using Valorant as an example. Valorant's like a first-person shooter made by the people that make League of Legends, the biggest competitive online game. They're like, okay, we have the biggest competitive online property. Let's make a first-person shooter. They made it free to play. Then they hired like the top Overwatch player, Sinatra. They hired him, made him quit Overwatch. They brought all the top streamers in. That game never took off. It was free to play at all the top streamers that they were paying a ton of money. They put up a bunch of prize money for tournaments. People wouldn't play that. So that when I see this like Forge Arena game drop on Wax and they're like, we need $115 for you to play this 5v5 shooter. I'm just like, good fucking luck. Like this huge game, huge studio tried to develop this for free for the actual gaming crowd and they wouldn't play it for free. Like, how are you expecting to onboard any of the gaming crowd to Wax if you're charging $115? Like that's so like, I think a lot of people are just way out of line with what the gaming community wants to, and like don't realize it's like outside of the NFT space, it's super hard to make a good game. Like, so inside the NFT space, it doesn't make it easier. It makes it harder because you're on a blockchain where like you can't undo economic things. Like you can't undo it. It's on the blockchain. So like, yeah, it's just really hard.
A lot of gamers I talk to are not interested in NFTs entering their gaming space. Like I think a lot of them are misinformed also, but that doesn't change the fact that they don't want the shit and like they don't want to get informed because they have an opinion about it already.
They might want to realize they're getting it. Once
exactly.
Yeah, if you don't call it an NFT, they probably would use it all the time. I have a feeling that the gaming world will incorporate on-chain stuff, but it just won't be called NFTs, or you won't realize what's happening under the hood. I'm
confident everybody who hates on NFTs today will own NFTs in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, whether they know or care or not. Yeah,
it's like all the people that talk shit about Bitcoin. And then, like, they're the ones texting me when it blows up. They're like, okay, so how do I get into it now? It's like, well, you should have gotten into it back when you're talking shit about it because now's a bad time to enter because it just blew up. But, like, I do think, like, eventually NFTs are going to be way more mainstream. But we're definitely, like, kind of on the early days now. I think we should wrap this up. We've kept John and Richie long enough. We've gone for an hour and 40 minutes. But thank you so much for joining.
It's blown over.
Well, it's a pleasure chatting with you guys.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with my insane DeFi tangents. I get way too into that.
I learn a lot when I come on with you guys.
I just like your backhanded compliments to our planet. So everything you want to say nice to them, but you've got a prefix slating them.
People get mad when people get mad when I say our planet did something good because they do so much bad. So I have to caveat it heavily. Where it's like they do a lot of bad things. I'm not trying to invalidate that they do a lot of bullshit. But they have done some good, and I like to see some good happening in Wax.
All right, so Sunday, March 20th, 6 p.m. UTC is the sale. I posted the Medium article again. What was it? Let me see. It was 10 card packs, $15 in Wax, 25 card packs, $37.50 in Wax, $37.50 in Wax equivalent, and and that's on Atomic Hub, right?
Yeah, it'll be on Atomic Hub. You'll be seeing that there's going to be banners on Atomic Hub and Nifty, and we'll spam it everywhere. So, yeah, but it probably won't go up until the day. Yeah.
Nice. And then you can be whitelisted if you have one of the 666 cards on Ethereum. You can bring it over to the Wax blockchain super seamlessly just by signing a transaction from your ETH wallet and telling it what your Wax wallet is. then you'll have it on wax, and you'll be whitelisted for the pre-sale 5 minutes before the public sale.
I'll have a pack opening service for everyone. So if you would like to pull mythics, I will help you. No guarantees.
I posted a link to the Discord here, so if you want to stay up to date, they will be posting the drop links in Discord, I'm sure, in the announcement channel. So join the Ultra Discord if you want to keep up with their updates.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna rate into.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. I was
come and do some collecting, get involved.
Right, and then if you post some stuff that you want to trade, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of trading, especially on drop day. It's always the best time to get.
Telegram channel purely for trading that people that generally goes pretty manic afterwards. Or you can just do it in Telegram.
It's also, if you haven't participated in like a big collectible drop on any like NFT chain, it's really fun. So like buy a couple packs, jump in, get like trading, try to like.
Chain Champs is good on drop day.
It's really fun.
Chain Champs is the live market faster than Atomic Hub. Yeah. Chain Champs will also tell you like it gives you some like good like liquidity information, what's selling, and like they'll tell you the best deal in the market when it pops up and stuff. Like drop day, Chain Champs is dope. We might have to stream. We don't normally stream on Sundays, but maybe we'll do a special stream just to do some pack openings and participate in the sale.
Yeah, I plan. I'll have a few packs I want to.
We'll send you a few to do some giveaways and stuff.
I'll buy a few and then I'll send them to Mark to rip for me because obviously
AMJ the drop will be on Atomic Hub, not on FD. So this drop is an Atomic Hub drop.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm gonna raid over to NFT Action News, but thank you everybody for joining us today. It was a blast, and we'll be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys.
Fuck yeah! Damn, I'm stoked.
Horror Space Farm Tales World. New game.